My name's Ritchie and I'm the Wardrobe Production Manager for Opera Australia, and my role is to bring the costumes from design to the stage. Lakmé is basically the story of a beautiful young Indian girl who falls in love with an English soldier. It's your traditional story of forbidden love, and in the end it doesn't work out well for Lakmé. She poisons herself with a poisonous flower and chooses that to have been in love is better than to have lost love. The costumes take us to this lovely world of India. They're extremely elaborate, they're gorgeous, they're glittery, and they take us into this exotic world that these English people who are quite prim and proper have just never seen before. And it's a shock for them. And there's a character, Mrs. Benson, who just can't handle all this kerfuffle around of this English village. And if anyone's ever been to India, you will know that it's quite overwhelming, and that's what we're trying to bring with the costumes. It's just so exotic and so overwhelming. Our first step, we do a budget, we look at what it's going to cost, and then we look where we're going to source the fabrics. So the Indian fabrics all came from India. Mark, the designer, has an extensive knowledge of India, and he chose the fabrics, he put the combinations together, and created these beautiful Indian looks that are just exquisite. The English costumes, of course, are laces and wools and traditional military fabrics, so we sourced those from England and the laces from France. And then we discuss it with the cutter, who will work out how the costume is going to be made, do the fittings, and it's put together by a team of seamstresses that do a remarkable job just creating beautiful costumes. In total, it takes about 12 to 18 months from when the designs are presented, and then we'll work on them intensely for about 6 months, and then it speeds up, of course, during the rehearsal period, when, of course, last minute things change. But it's about 12 months that we're working on them. What I think the costumes do really well is they give us the two different worlds. They give us India, the exotic, and they give us England, the prim and proper. And I think that when the two come together in Lakmé and Gerald, I think it's a great combination. He falls in love with her exotic beauty, a thing that he's never seen before, and it takes him to another world. Lakmé's particular costumes are very lavish. She had, the skirts were particularly designed for her. They were all embroidered in India and then put together here. So the designs were sent off for exactly what we wanted, whereas the chorus costumes were a combination of saris and things that we could buy. So yes, her costumes were particularly exotic and I think looked gorgeous. The colours were chosen for what was going to happen in each scene, how they were going to light and how it would work in the whole world, that we'd be looking at her amongst this gorgeous world. Getting to the first piano dress can be quite a struggle. You've got, you're working in your own little world of wardrobe and you're just focusing on one side of the production. Then when you hear a bit coming out of rehearsal, you get a little glimpse of what it's going to be like when we get to the stage. And then the first day when you see it, when you've got the set in place and the people come out and they're dressed in your costumes and the director can't recognise anyone because they're so transformed, it's fantastic. You just feel like you've really achieved something, and it's part of this huge collaboration, which sometimes you can forget when you're working in your own little world, and when it all comes together on stage, it's magical.